This conference will now be recorded.
So good morning, everyone. We will start with the session. I'm sorry for the delay. So today we'll be doing the demo for VLSI front-end domain. That is the pre-synthesis training. This will be the agenda. So we'll be quickly starting off with understanding what all courses are being starting today, and a quick overview of the institute and what are the various courses offered, and how do you choose the right course, and course overview. I mean, what is the course structure and schedule, everything. Then the institute facilities and the placements, and little bit technical into the today's demo aspects. Just about myself, my name is Srinivas. I am the founder of the institute. I handle front-end domain training in the institute. That is into RTL design, RTL verification, and the protocols and all those things I handle. And we have other supporting trainers who are also does the training into front-end domain and other domains as well. Uh, what are the courses starting today? There are various courses starting today. As an institute, we offer multiple courses. I mean, if you go to our website, we offer a lot of courses for freshers. Like you can see, functional
Hello.
verification course, the physical
Sorry
design.
to interrupt, sir.
Yeah,
Voice, voice is not audible, sir.
others. How about others?
Audible, sir.
Yes, sir. Now it is audible.
No, it's audible. Okay. So what I was telling is, like, there are various courses we offer. For example, for freshers itself, we offer 6 different courses: functional verification, physical design, FPGA system design, DFT, custom layout, and embedded systems. Then various other courses are there targeted for working professionals. Okay, some protocol courses. Given that there are so many courses, we can't do a dedicated demo for each and every session. Rather, what we do is we organize all the demo sessions into 2 categories for freshers targeted. One is the front end domain demo session, one is the back end domain demo session. So whatever training fall into front end domain, we merge into this one. Whatever falls into back end domain, we merge into this one. Does it mean that now it will be complete DFT demo session? No, this will be giving you an overview of the front end domain. Maybe in the evening or in the afternoon or so today, there will be another demo session for DFT. So the people who are interested in, let's say, DFT, they will have another one more demo session. People who are interested in FPGA, another one more demo. People who are looking for RTL design and integration, there will be a different demo session. So specific to the domain you want to get into, there will be a demo session. Uh, Today's demo will be focused on functional verification along with these topics as well. Okay. So what are all courses starting today? The first course for which we are doing the session is RTL design and functional verification. The same course, RTL design and functional verification, is also called as front-end training for freshers. When I call VLSI front-end training for freshers, and when I call design and functional verification, both the courses are same. Same thing for functional verification training for freshers and the ASIC verification. Whatever name I use, all courses are referring to the same thing. The other course that is starting today is functional verification training for experienced engineers. See, these are all, this was targeted for a fresher. This is for experienced engineer. The difference is someone who is already working in the industry, he is comfortable with digital design and Verilog. He want to gain expertise into system Verilog, UVM, some advanced protocols, some complex projects. This course will be customized for those kind of requirements. Whereas as a fresher, people have to start with advanced digital design, Verilog, and all those things. Hence, that is offered as a separate course. Other than that, we are also starting today Verilog for design and verification, system Verilog for functional verification. Now, who is the target audience for this? I mean, whom we are expecting to enroll for this course is people who are pursuing their BTech third year, BTech fourth year, or MTech first year. uh, they cannot do entire 8 months course or 6 months course, right? Because they will not have time. They'll have to do their own college work. So in those cases, we don't encourage them to attend the 8 months course. Rather, go for shorter courses. Like while you are in third year, just only focus on Verilog, complete Verilog, and gain expertise with Verilog. When you come to fourth year, you do system Verilog. That way, in 1 year, only one course. That is manageable. So this is meant for those kind of people. Even from a fresher perspective, we give the flexibility for a fresher to take this course. Someone who is pursuing their BTech third year, let's say, or MTech first year, they can do this entire course. Let's say this is 8 months course. They can do this course over 2 years time period. Over 2 years, they can spread their entire learning. Let's say third semester digital design, fifth semester digital design, sixth semester Verilog, seventh semester system Verilog. Like that, they can spread it over 2 years time period. That option also we give, because we want to make sure that the it should be offered as per the convenience of the students. Next, other than that, we are also starting today FPGA design and verification course. Actually, it's called as FPGA system design, which covers all the aspects of FPGA, like how to develop RTL code, how to synthesize, how to put it onto the FPGA board, and how to do the placement and routing, how to do timing closure. There are a lot of things that goes into FPGA flow. Mean it's not just what you do in your BTech. During BTech, there will be a Spartan board. On that, you put some FPGA board. I mean, design and run the simulations. It will be lot more than that. Other than that, today we are also starting course on RTL design and integration. See, when you talk term RTL, right, there will be three kind of activities that will be there in that. RTL stands for what? Register transfer level. It is one style of coding in Verilog. Now, with respect to RTL, three things you can do. We can do RTL design, that is developing a Verilog code, given design. Second thing you can do is RTL integration, that is integrating whatever designs available to get a bigger design. Understood? You have smaller designs. Let's say this is my chip. These are some sub blocks. Someone has already given me the Verilog code for this. Verilog code for this. Verilog code for this, for everything. Then putting together everything to get a bigger module is what we call as RTL integration. What will be the next step? RTL verification. Whatever you have developed, whatever you have integrated, you want to prove that that is working fine. Okay, that is called as verifying, functional verification of the RTL code as per specifications. Is it behaving like as mentioned in the specifications, is what we call as RTL verification. So there will be three aspects: RTL design, integration, RTL verification. So we offer, which is the second point? Please tell me which second point. RTL stands for register transfer level. That is something we'll talk when we go to Verilog coding. Now in short minute. Oh, okay. Okay, someone is asking about functional verification for experience engineer. Is that your query? Okay. So see function different. Let's understand the difference between functional verification training for freshers and functional verification training for experienced engineers. If you take a freshers course, this is the freshers course what I have opened. The syllabus start with the digital design, the entire all the aspects of digital design. Then we'll focus on Verilog language and Verilog projects. This is not there in these aspects are not there in the experienced engineer course, because someone who is already experienced, he would be familiar with the basics, right? The digital Verilog basics, he would be familiar. So we won't cover them. So for the experienced people, this is where the course will start from. Okay, system Verilog. I will also open that one. Okay, um, functional verification for experienced. See, it directly starts with system Verilog. The only difference, then you may say, is it same as except for those three things? Is it same as freshers course? No, there is a difference. Difference is a fresher will do only constructs training. UVM advanced level training we won't give to the freshers. For freshers, as much as required from a 1 to 2 years experience perspective, that only we teach. In the fresher course, UVM is covered only from a 2 years experienced engineer perspective. In the experience course, UVM is covered from a 5 to 10 years experience engineer perspective. I mean, if you are working in the industry between a 5 to 10 years experience, how much expertise do you need with UVM? That is what is covered in the UVM. System Verilog is common in both the courses, because you should be good in system Verilog as a fresher also, as a experienced also. But UVM, see, why you may say, why don't you teach me from 5 years experienced person? Thing is, you will need more time. Now itself the course goes for 8 months. If I make it at that level, I'll have to spend another 2 3 months for a fresher to learn to that level. So that is where we have limited what we cover. But that is good enough for you to, you can go into the industry, you can work on par with a 2 years experienced person even after this course. Is that clear? Some people had question regarding functional verification training for experienced engineer. Is it clear? Other than that, what we do is we also cover C. We cover some industry standard project. We also cover Python. See what is required from an experienced engineer perspective. We cover everything. System Verilog, UVM, AHB project, USB core verification, Python for VLSI flow automation. This is all required for an experienced engineer. We all cover that as a single package. From a fresher perspective, it starts with digital design, Verilog, projects, all these things. It also has the Perl and Python scripting. I hope you have understood. Any other questions? Now, talking about RTL flow, RTL design, RTL integration, RTL verification. So there are two courses here. One is called as RTL design and verification. One is the RTL design and integration. So someone who want to get into design role, generally enrolls for this course. Someone who wants to get into functional verification role will enroll for this course. Mostly from a fresher perspective, jobs will be in this domain. Companies hire experienced people here. In the RTL design and integration, companies hire experienced people, someone with 2 years experience, 3 years experience. So hence, for freshers, we mostly focus on this course only. Okay. So this is about what all courses we are starting today. Other than that, we are also starting DFT, which is design for testability. Now, as I told you before, this is like a common session for everyone. A 2.5 hour session now is like a common session for everyone. Instead of doing again, see if my trainer has to start at 2 o'clock, he has to start everything again. Rather, what we do is we do one common class where we cover all these concepts. In the afternoon, our admin will inform you in the group what time DFT. I think he has already informed in the group what time is the DFT demo session. Those who are interested in DFT, you can check with the admin also. They will tell you the exact schedule. Okay, so this about it. Now the timing, as you know, is from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. is the demo session timing. DFT demo session, this is not correct. Okay, our admin will inform you. Uh, okay. My name is Srinivas. As I told you, I have around 13 plus years of teaching experience. I have around 14 plus years of industry working experience. I was also a lead trainer for Mentor Graphics. Like Mentor Graphics is one of the companies into EDS space. So I was also one of the lead trainer for their higher education program. They used to conduct training programs for college graduates actually for free. So I used to be the main trainer for that program also. Okay. Now, this is a brief about the training schedule. I mean, what all courses are starting today. Do you have any questions before I get into the technical aspects?
RTL design, both. If we take integration or if we take verification, but we can do the RTL design.
In all the cases, we cover RTL design because if you are working into front end domain, you always need the knowledge of RTL design because in both the cases you are working with design, right? Let's say if you are verifying, what are you verifying? You're verifying the RTL code, that is RTL design. So you need to have understanding about what is RTL design, how RTL design works. Even when you do RTL integration, what are you integrating? RTL designs only, right? Taking smaller designs and you are integrating them to get a bigger design. So in that case also, you need the understanding of RTL design. So hence in both the cases, RTL design is common. Even if I tell that course is functional verification, we cover RTL design also in that, where you get a very good exposure to some taking some designs, how to understand the design as a state machine, how to implement the Verilog code for that, how to verify that using the Verilog itself. Everything gets covered from the scratch. Any other questions? Okay. Um, I have explained. Okay.
Sir,
New batch. Yeah.
sir,
Someone is asking.
uh,
Yeah.
when will you start the lab session, sir? Actually, from 9:30 to 12:30. In that time, you are giving the lab session, or otherwise you are taking the some other time
I
for
will.
the lab session.
I'll tell you how the lab sessions work is.
Uh,
Typically in a day, the sessions start around 9:30 a.m. Plus or minus 1 hour. It may start at 9 also, it may start at 10, 10:30 because rooms and trainer we have to manage, right? But you can take roughly it as 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. theory session will happen. Around 1.5 to 2 hours maximum. Because if I do anything more than that, students cannot handle that much. I mean, not only me, for me, what is easy, for student, it's not so easy. If I teach 1.5 hour, for the student, it's very exhaustive, that content. Then what we do is we give a break. Around 11:15 or so, we start until 2:30 till 2 p.m. lab session will happen. This is the schedule for every course. You take Verilog,
okay.
you take Verilog system, Verilog UVM, any course you take, we do this way. Same day theory session, same day lab session. See, other problem is, let's say if I do only 4 hours theory, you cannot remember so much actually. It becomes very exhaustive. So that is how the course is always planned. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have raised a query in the chat box. Can you address on that, please?
Yeah, sure, sure. Someone is asking when is the new batch of DFT for experienced engineers? It is starting, I think, coming Saturday it should start. It will start. Yeah, coming Saturday it will start. That is by 30 September it will start. What is the group? No, no. See, group is you have already enrolled. Let's say you have already enrolled into the course. You are added into one institute WhatsApp group. There you will get the update. Otherwise, the admin will send you the update directly to you, your WhatsApp. Let's say you have. Otherwise, please message this number asking the DFT demo session schedule. Fill inform. In WhatsApp. WhatsApp will be good. Other than that, if someone has, let me take down all the questions. If someone has having teaching experience of 8 to 10 years, wish to join industry, which course he should choose? See, how do you choose a course is what we are going to talk today. Okay, but anyway, just to give you a brief, since you have worked in teaching industry for 8 to 10 years, you better know what subject you have handled, right? Whether you have handled Verilog kind of program, Verilog or some non-programming based subjects. So there, you know your expertise. Let's say you have expertise in programming. You are good with programming. At least Verilog, you are very comfortable. Then you can go for functional verification course. Not good with programming, then you can go for DFT course. DFT is one domain where you don't need any programming, you don't need any semiconductor basics also. You don't need to know what is CMOS, what is FinFET also, because it is a technology which is used for finding the manufacturing defects. To find manufacturing defects, you don't need any semiconductor concepts. Whereas a physical design engineer requires a lot of concepts. He needs to know what is CMOS, what is FinFET, what is short channel effect, what is current, what is voltage, what is circuit theory, everything he needs to know. DFT engineer doesn't need to know. So if someone doesn't like programming and has some gap in the education, they can go for DFT. Now, does it mean that I'm telling 100% you will get job in DFT? There is no 100% anywhere. 100% comes when you put the effort. Student joins the course, he learns the subject in the right way, then that guarantee comes. Just enrolling for a course doesn't give any guarantee. Okay, so this way you can
Sir,
choose. Yeah.
sir, they are asking about the DFT also. Some of the interviews they are asking DFT as well as functional verification, all the things and all. So better we have to learn the DFT also, no, sir?
No, 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 not like that. See, nobody will ask like that. Interview is always focused on a specific domain. Okay, for example, we are constructing a house. Okay, will I hire a person who is expert in plumbing, or will I hire a person who knows little bit of plumbing, little bit of carpentry, little bit of tiles work? Tell me whom I will go for. Someone who is
Actually,
expert in one
who knows
one
only?
domain.
Who knows only?
So same thing in the industry also. Companies hire a person because they are expert in one domain, not because you know something of everything.
Oh,
So even if they cannot ask you DFT, they can ask you basics like what is DFT. They can ask. They cannot ask
ah,
more than that. If you say that I worked into functional verification, they will only ask into functional verification.
okay.
So I hope this is clear. Now, someone with teaching experience, the challenge, I'll tell you what challenge you face. See, at 10 years experience level, I don't know what might be the salary. Assume that it could be anything. Assume that anywhere between 5 to 15 lakhs per annum range. The challenge you will face is when you join into the industry, if you join as a fresher, your salary could be anywhere like 3 to 5 lakhs per annum. If you get into services company, or maybe 3 to 6 lakhs per annum. There you have to compromise a bit because you have to work at a salary lower than your initial salary, but eventually this goes up. This will cross your this salary. Other thing people do is since they have gap, they work with some consultancy, get some experience. I'm telling you openly, I don't hide much. Get some experience later, then try with experience. There you can manage the above salary. I mean, the salary can be better than rent. Like it can easily cross this number. But for both the things, there's only one common criteria. You have to be expert with the subject. There's no replacement, right? Everything will work only when you are expert with the subject. How does expertise will come? You have to learn everything with a passion. Like every topic, you have to just complete the assignments. You redo the assignments, learn the concepts. uh, then you will get. So in this case also, someone with a teaching experience, 8 to 10 years experience, and want to join into the industry, if they want to move into the industry, it is possible. But then what is the only one thing that is required? They have to give time and become expert with the subject. Once you are expert with the subject, industry doesn't really differentiate, because at the end a company wants a person who performs. If a given a task, he should do independently and he should do it properly. As long as you are able to prove that I can do that, they will hire. There are many people who have got into the industry in that manner. But please do think about it before moving, because if you might be already married, you might have personal commitments. So you should always think what will happen, what if I have to work at a lower salary. So always you should think that perspective, then you should think join. Next. Let's take this question. Design verification course and functional verification, both are same? Yes, both are same. When I say design verification, when I say functional verification, both refers to the same thing. I want fresher course along with full advanced UVM as present. Is it possible? Yes, possible. You just have to pay. You go for VLSI fresher course plus the only UVM advanced topics. Cost will be little higher because of this UVM advanced topic. You can do that. I want to learn more on storage perspective like PCI Express, NVMe. Which course covers that? There's a course on PCI Express. You can do that. You go here. Protocols. So PCI Gen 4 course you can go for. It is not for freshers. Some people who have joined this call are working professionals. So for them I'm showing. Okay, you can go for this course. This is a very in-depth course. What you learn is the experience I have gained over the time. I mean, I have covered this PCI Express course around 15 to 20 times. I have done training over last 5 6 years. I would have done 15, at least 15 times. So what you get is a very refined form of the PCI protocol. I mean, reading the specification in PCI protocol is almost 500 600 pages. My lectures or my way we have delivered will make it very easy for you to learn the protocol. You can even think about joining DDR course. That will also be very good for an experienced person. It will give a very in-depth exposure to the DDR protocol overall. Next, NVMe. NVMe is a separate. Actually, see what happens. We also have a course on NVMe. That is again a different course here. You see here, NVMe. NVMe uses PCI Express. I'll explain for the freshers who are in this room who are attending. Let me explain what is NVMe so that you are also you understand what is the discussion is about. When you use SSD devices, solid state devices, right? The technology that is used in the solid state technology device is called as NVMe. The technology, how the data transfers from my laptop to SSD device and how the data comes from SSD to my laptop. That technology is called as NVMe. Then what is PCI Express? The protocol that is used to connect my storage device. Let's say I have laptop. I have a storage device. This interface is PCI Express. Like you have USB interface. The interface there they use is what? PCI Express. The technology that is used, how to transfer, when to transfer, that technology is called as NVMe. The interface is called as PCI Express. For a fresher, this much is sufficient. Let's not go deep into it because I don't want you to feel completely out of the discussion. Okay.
Then where do these protocols are inside?
They are used inside the chip. See, what is PCI Express comes outside chip. Do you connect storage device from outside, right? Those protocols are called as peripheral protocols. See, USB is a peripheral protocol. Means what? USB is at the boundary of the chip. MMC is a peripheral protocol because here only you connect the MMC device. VGA is what? Again, peripheral protocol. You see, every laptop has a VGA port, HDMI port. These are all peripheral protocols. Then what is AMBA protocols? They are inside the chip, inside the communication. Let's say here there is a communication happening inside the chip. That happens through AMBA protocols. Any other questions? For those who have joined for demo session, I will be continuing with the demo. So I thought let me just clarify some questions, then let me get into demo. Please ask.
सर ये कोर्स फ्रेशर्स के लिए या फिर एक्सपीरियंस के लिए?
For PCI Express NVMe, it's not for freshers. The one we are talking about today, the course, the functional verification training for freshers, it is completely for freshers. Whatever I said, NVMe, PCI Express, it's not for you. Okay. Any other doubt?
Yes, sir. If I have एजुकेशनल अगर गैप है अपना
हाँ.
तो सर कोई प्रॉब्लम है?
Okay. So question is, education gap is there.
Yes, sir.
Will it be a problem? It won't be a major problem. We have met earlier, right? You have around 3 years gap.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that won't be a problem at all. Absolutely not a problem. In fact, sometimes you have advantage. Sometimes you have advantage. Why you have advantage is if there is a company XYZ company is there, they are providing contractors or consultants to Qualcomm. Just let's take. Will Qualcomm hire freshers or experienced contractors? Experience only, right? Because for a fresher again they have to tell you what to do everything. किसको हायर करेंगे बताइए? एक्सपीरियंस. आपका 3 साल का गैप है तो आपको वो हायर करके they will hire you, they will show 2 years of your gap as experience. This XYZ company will hire you whatever 2 years 3 years gap you have, out of that they will show 2 years as a experience, and then they will send. Let's not take Qualcomm also, let's take another ABCD company. It is easy for them to place you rather than a fresher. Understood? But then what is that you need? You need a very good expertise with the subject. If you say I don't know anything, hire me as experience, no one will hire, right? And then if you are taking that I can work as a 2 years person, your knowledge should be also like a 2 years person. Okay. Any other questions? Next. It happens. Matlab, there are companies who specifically ask, we want passouts before 2021 only. I can show you. I don't want to go through the WhatsApp and all that. There are many companies who say we want only 2021 or before only.
But that person don't have that much skills, sir.
It is easy to learn the skill set. What we are doing is not a very complex thing. With the right teaching, with the right effort from the student, everything is possible. It's not very complex thing, right? We are not writing any complex equations. Simple things in a just that you have to be motivated for the whole course duration, 6 months 8 months. You have to be completely focused on the course. You have to get the right kind of support. You once you do that, you can with 8 years 8 months of training, you can even become as good as 3 years experienced person. I can tell you, I can make you as good as a 3 years experienced person. Okay. Now how do I say how can 8 months be 3 years? Because 3 years experienced person doesn't innovate anything. Does he invent anything in the company? You go to some company, let's say any company, a 3 years experienced person, does he invent any new technologies? Nothing. He does the same work efficiently. He is very good with Linux. He has a good understanding of SV. He has a good understanding of UVM. He understands how the verification happens. He knows if some issue happens, how to quickly resolve that. That's the only difference between a fresher is like what, 22 years, experience is like what, 25 years. Will Do you think a lot of changes will happen in 3 years? Nothing, right? Just that he will do things more efficient. That efficiency you can gain in 8 months. Next. Let's take some more questions also, because I don't want to leave their questions unanswered. So once these questions are done, then I'll continue with the demo. I have worked with Intel for a year in pre-silicon verification. Now I want to get into verification domain. I am clear with Verilog and digital electronic concept. Can I join functional verification for experienced engineers? Do I get placement assistance from the institute in this course? So my suggestion would be, you have done Verilog and digital electronics, you can do only Verilog projects. So what is Verilog projects is, plus you can do DV experience course. Why I am telling you to do Verilog projects is, if I take Verilog projects, it covers a lot of important things project wise. The clock generation, D flip-flop concepts, the various types of counters, the memory coding and verification, memory design and verification. Then we cover FIFO, synchronous FIFO, asynchronous FIFO, then state machines. Then we cover pattern detector, traffic light controller, interrupt controller, SPI controller, CRC generation. So many projects gets covered in Verilog projects. And what is the cost for this?
Sorry,
Please be in mute.
sorry
Someone,
to
if you don't
disturb.
have
I
a
just
question, please be in mute. Abhishek, please be in mute for some
config this
time.
memory.
Tulasi, please be in mute. Tulasi, please be in mute. Others, I'm sorry for this. Generally, first time when they join, they are not familiar with this. Who else is sharing screen? 1 second.
This conference will now be recorded.
For freshers
Just give a minute.
Hello everyone. Just give me a minute. I'll be starting off with the session again. Please be on call.
So what I was telling is, someone who has already worked into post-silicon validation at Intel, probably they wouldn't have so much exposure to these things. This will be very helpful for any fresher because you get to learn some projects like FIFO, state machines, pattern detector, APB protocol, SPI controller, interrupt controller. This will be very useful. Okay. What is the additional cost for this would be the 7K plus GST, but that will be worth it to do so many things. At this additional cost will be worth it. But if you feel that as a fresher, if you feel that no, I'm good with all those things, you can just go for DV experience course. Even when you enroll for DV experience course, we will give you the placement support. Our only criteria when it comes to placement is the person should have done system Verilog and UVM training with us, plus some project with us. SV, UVM and project, and he should be good with these concepts. Then we'll consider the placement support. If someone says I will only take AXA protocol, will you give me placement support? I don't give, because if he has done SV UVM somewhere, I don't know whether he learned or somewhere, I don't know his expertise with the subject. Unless I know, I cannot consider him for placements. Next, will there be any course for MIPE? Right now, not available. Going forward, we might offer another nine months. Yes, it should be there. Currently the plan is October, November. I'm doing CXL protocol. November and December I'll be doing UFS protocol, and January I'll be doing UPF, that is the low power verification. Maybe around Feb we will start with some other protocols like this. So this is the plan currently. Okay. Will the protocol course also cover test bench environment or only spec? It depends upon the course you enroll for. Protocol course also cover test bench environment is if you go for, let's say, PCI Express. If I take the course itself is two things. One is PCIe protocol training is one course. One is PCIe test bench development is a different course. This course will cost you something, let's say 9K. This course will cost you 7K. So depending upon which course you want, let's say you want both, accordingly you can enroll for both. If you want to only one, you can only enroll for one. I mean, why we are doing so much? I mean, you may say, why are you complicating? Why don't one course? It will be forcing, right? Like you have to buy both the courses combinedly. Rather, we give the flexibility to the student to choose which course they want to go for. If they feel that they are already good with protocol, they can directly go for only this course. Okay. Similarly, other courses also have test bench environment development courses. NAND technology. Currently, we don't. We don't have this. NAND technology is something that is used in the NAND flash memories. Like flash memories can be two types: NAND technology based, NOR technology. NAND means NAND gate, NOR means NOR gate. Those are the two possible technologies. We currently we don't have that concept, that course, because actually you don't need to learn at the that NAND level. It's a different. Okay. Next question. How will be the openings for a fresher in VLSI front-end design verification role? Is that hard to get into the industry? See, the answer for this question is, what is the time, what is the year, time of the year? That is the answer for this question. Let's say which year you are trying. For example, 2021-22 was very good. I would say almost 80 to 90% people got jobs. Now in 2023, it's not so good. I would say around 40%. Sorry. That is what. See, we can't predict how the things will be. We can't predict how the things will be. See, I could even write this as 70%. I don't want to give a very unrealistic numbers. Right now, realistically, it's 40%. Now, what is 40%? Is person who is good with the subject, who has learned the subject, he definitely gets a job. Okay. Earlier, the situation was that even if you are not good, companies used to still hire because they had a requirement. Okay. It could be better based on the requirement. I mean, things are not very great. That's what I'm telling. Like what was previous year, things are not like that. I have 1 year experience in embedded Linux device drivers from 2021-22. Now I migrated to VLSI. So can I add 1 year experience to my profile? Yes, it is possible. All you have to do is you learn the subject to cover up this gap. Whatever you learn additional topics, you show that into this experience, this part of that. You say that instead of working on Linux drivers, you worked into some functional verification project that you can add into your experience. What is company's hiring rate right now and how it will be situation later? Interviews offered by per person by the institute. Generally, institute commitment is 100% support till student gets a job. Earlier I said 40% people are getting placed. That means what, around 60% are not getting jobs. We won't stop them after 6 months. We won't stop after 3 months. They will continue to get the support. Those 60%, if they put the right effort and learn the subject properly, they can get job in 2024. So it's a little bit about having patience. Okay. So we don't time. I will not tell that you join now. By February, I'll give you job. I won't tell. What I will tell is, let it be February, let it be May, let it be next September also. I'll continue to support you till you get a job. Okay. If you are good with the subject, I'll give you opportunity here in the institute. You join as a mentor, work for 6 months, 1 year. With that subject, like the subject you learn, you will get into industry easily. I'm not, so see, if you are good with the subject, I'll find different ways to help you. But if your subject, you don't put any effort, you don't learn anything, then I cannot help. Understood, right? That's what I have been always been telling, that whatever support we have to give you, in any way, it all comes down to how well you learn the subject. And I'm also not telling that you sit at home, do everything yourself. No. You will get a lot of support in the institute. The trainer will give you guidance. There will be additional mentors with whom you can meet and get all your doubts clarified. All that level of support you will get. Only thing is, you need to put the right effort from your side. I hope you got it. Interviews, there is no limit on the number of interviews. You could get 5 opportunities, 10 opportunities, 20 opportunities. You will keep getting the opportunities till you get a job. I'm in a dilemma. Should I join VLSI or embedded? Can you please clarify? So I will go through the today's demo session. Probably it will help you with that. Then you can decide. I mean, today's demo session will also talk about what is VLSI, what is embedded system. After that, you can decide. We are freshers now. Then after 7 months, we are freshers or not. You will still be treated as a fresher. Let's say someone who is 2023 pass out till 2025 or 2026, you are still treated as a fresher. The companies hire up to 2 years gap also, because companies knows that you will join a training, so that will take time. They will still treat you as a fresher only up to next 2 years. They will still definitely till 2025 September. You will be treated as a fresher. In case I missed any questions, please post again, because I rejoined, so I might have missed some questions. Please post your questions in case I missed any questions. In case you feel that this doesn't cover the question you have asked, please post your question again. I hear that we get placement only coaching periods. After completing training period, once we come outside training, we don't get jobs. That is very hard situation for we get a job. Just now I told you that during training you cannot get a job. Why you can't get a job? During coaching, you are learning, right? Still learning. Let's say you are undergoing system Verilog training today. Can I give you job today? Tell me, when can I consider you for job? After training or last month of your training, last 2-3 months of training, I can consider you, where I know that you have at least completed 80% of your coursework. Then I can consider you. Our institute policy is the course duration is 8 months, but the placement support starts from 5.5 months. You don't need to wait for 8 months. What is this specifically 5.5? What is this number? This is number which is required to complete digital design plus Verilog plus SV plus UV. All this subject gets over in 5.5 months if you do properly.
What will you after 6, 7, 8 months?
Projects, industry standard projects, Python scripting. Project itself goes for 2.5 months. Overall, multiple projects we do. So we will not tell you that now training is over, you find job. No, we'll continue to support you. Wanted to know which all product companies you guys place. See, companies like We are partnered with Synopsys, companies like onsemi, Microchip, Samsung, Micron, Ensilica. These are some, and we have also tied up with, I think, Boeing. These are some of the companies who hire, but they don't hire every month, every quarter like that. Once they have a requirement, they maybe once in 3 months, 6 months, they approach and they hire 2, 3 people like that. What about 2019 pass out students? Is it possible to get a job as a fresher? See, for you, getting a job is important, right? As a fresher or as experience, you should not bother, right? For you, what is the criteria? Getting a job. Let's say tomorrow HCL comes for hiring. Let's say. What they will say, I want only 2021 or later pass out. Let's say. Can I consider your profile? No. But then you don't have to worry only about HCL. There are many other companies who hire because you are 2019 pass out. For them, it's advantage actually. Rather than hiring 2023, they will hire 2019 pass out. Having 10 years experience in teaching field and comfortable with digital and very long concepts. If I join functional verification course, will placement assistance be provided from your end? Yes, we will support. You learn the subject very well, we'll find a way to help you. Okay. Typically, we find it very happy to support the student. What is that mean by is if 100 students join, only 40 students have show lot of motivation. What is institute? Tell me. Is institute building? Is it laptops? Is it the licenses we have? Institute, as someone says, na, is the students. What is institute? Let's say if you take some IIT. What is IIT? It's the students who give that reputation, right? Not the place, not the city, all that. It's the student who give the reputation to that place. Same way for as a institute, for us, reputation is with the student. How will I get that? If I give a good support to the students, they learn the subject properly and they go to the industry and perform well, we get the reputation. So my point is, we will do everything to help you. Even if you are 10 years experience in some other thing, you perform well, we'll find 10 different ways to support you. Again, it comes down to what? You should be expert with the subject. Expertise comes only when you spend time. Time is the important, right? Time you should spend in a right manner. Next, I have worked in emulation domain for 2 years, but I want to shift to design verification domain. Will I be treated as a fresher? Now, for a freshers, let me explain you what is emulation. The term emulation. Are you familiar with FPGA boards? At the advanced level of FPGA board is emulation. Very advanced level of what you do in FPGA. At next level, what we do is emulation. Yeah, it is possible for you to switch into design verification because same thing, you need to learn the subject, you need to do the projects and show these 2 years as a design verification experience. So then overall 2 to 3 years experience if you show, you can easily get a job. Now you may say, how can I show 2 to 3 years experience? The thing is, go to the projects. We do various projects. We do multiple projects in the course like Ethernet MAC verification, verification IP development, memory verification, various designs we do. This you can easily show as a 2+ years experience. If you do this many projects, you can easily show as a 2+ years experience. That you can show into your emulation time. You reduce this to only 6 months or 1 year. Increase functional verification by another 1 year. That way they will treat you more like a verification engineer rather than an emulation engineer. have any crash course apart from the regular 8 months course. See, if you are a working professional, as per that person, Dilip is the person who asked this question. So he seems to be a working professional. So for them, we have a e-learning course. In the e-learning course, every course is offered in e-learning. Let's say system Verilog you want to start with. The system Verilog course will be around 80 hours of lecture. But 80 hours typically plus 80 hours theory, another 100 plus hours of lab will happen. That is what we do. Someone wants, this typically goes for 9 to 10 weeks in our institute. You can easily calculate. See, what was hours? 180 hours. Per week we do 24 hours. How much it comes to roughly? 8, right? 8 weeks it will come to. Sometimes it doesn't go as planned, right? Sometimes it gets increased, whatever happens. This you don't need to do for 9 to 10 weeks. As a self-paced course, you can finish same 80 hours. You spend, let's say, 5 hours every day. You can finish in 16 days. Practice another 16 days. You can complete the same thing in 1 month. So it is possible. My point is what? So if you go for self-paced learning course, you don't need to go as per my pace. You can do at your own pace. But then the question comes, can't we reduce this 80 hours to 20 hours? We don't do that because it's very difficult. Skipping that subject and just covering very shallow, it's very difficult. So we do offer long courses. Is there any, I hope Dilip, it answers your question. So UVM also something like that. Let's say we do UVM experience course for 2 months. You can do it at your own pace. You can complete it in 1 month itself. Next, is there any effect of recession in the industry? Now we are seeing the effect. Seeing, right? There are domains where people don't get, they are not getting opportunities. But the good thing is recession won't be there forever. Things will come up. Now, when it comes up, I can't tell. Whether it comes up in 2024 January or March, June, I can't tell. But hope will be that it will come up for sure, right? I'm 2018 pass out in BTech Electrical. Currently, I'm working as a developer. I'm fair knowledge of coding, programming, Linux. What can I expect post course completion? What can I expect depends upon which company you work. Currently working as a developer. Where are you working? That will decide that. Let's say you're working in, for example, in Wipro. Wipro already has what? VLSI division. So instead of showing as a developer in some other domain, you will show 4+ years experience into. I won't take Wipro. Let's take some XYZ company who has VLSI division. Then you can try with a 4 years experience.
That company don't have VLSI division.
Then it's a problem. Let's say you're working in JP Morgan. JP Morgan is a finance company, right? So it's a finance company, JP Morgan Chase. So then you cannot show anything. You have to go with your actual profile. If it is Wipro, if it is HCL, if it is some other company, you can always say that in that company itself you worked in VLSI domain. With that you can try. But it's not going to be very easy because to show 4 years experience, you need to have that much expertise. But there is a possibility people do get jobs like that. And there with 4 years experience, you can get anywhere like 15 to 25 lakhs per month. People do get with this kind of. What about salaries? Is it same as software companies? Generally, VLSI salaries are 50% more than average software salary. 50%, sometimes double. Let's say software engineer with 5 years experience. Let's say someone is, you leave aside Google, Amazon, and Microsoft kind of companies. PayPal. You leave aside top 5 companies. In other companies, salary won't be very high. In VLSI, let's say this person in software gets like anywhere between 5 to 8 lakhs per annum in software companies. In VLSI, it could be easily people will get 15 to 25, 30 lakhs per annum. It's possible. People do get, even with 5 years experience, people get easily 15 lakhs per annum. So VLSI is a well paid domain. How many members per the batch? Right now, it should be around 30 per batch. Because even now you see demo session itself has 40, 45 people. It should be around 30 plus, because this has DFT people also. So if I keep it as separate batches, around 30 per batch. Average student gets job. What I would suggest is, see, as an average student, you have to come up. How do you come up? You have to improve your logical reasoning before you join the course. If you feel that you are an average student, okay, nothing wrong. I mean, because it's good to know what is your strength and what is your weakness, right? So if I feel that I'm an average student, first I should ask myself, what should I do to improve myself? What I should do is, if I feel that I was an average student, let's say I'm Srinivas, I feel that personally I feel that I'm an average student. What will I do? I'll spend 1 month to lot of logical reasoning questions. I'll just buy a book. I'll spend only 1 month. I won't join any course. I won't even join VLSI course. I won't join any software training course. I'll just spend 1 full month, do lot of logical reasoning questions. Simple questions, time and work. There are some 20 categories of questions are there, right? Dates, related, all that. That will improve my ability to understand the concepts, ability to solve. It will improve my problem solving skill, improves problem solving skill set. Then I will join the course. What it will do is, it will prepare for me to understand the concepts. You understood, right? By doing a lot of problems, you understand how to understand a given question, how to extract the variables, how to solve the equations. Those things you learn. Then you will be fit for the course. So after this, you can join the course. Then you can get job in any domain, because even if you go to software, you need that problem solving skills. What percentage chance to get placed in 2019 pass outs? If you do 80% of assignments confidently, I'll give you 100%. If you do 80% of the course assignments, you should do in such a way that I will open any question. You tell me that these are the 80% of the assignments I completed. Okay, I can ask you any questions. If you can answer any of those questions, I'll give you 100% job. Okay, that's commitment also. I'm not telling that all assignments you sit at home and do. There will be sessions where trainer will guide you. Each and every question will be guided. What is the expectation is that once the trainer has done in the classroom, you go home and repeat the same things. You keep touch with the subject. When you do that, when you do this 80% assignments yourself, you will not even ask me job. You know that you will get it. But from my side, I'll give you that assurance. If you complete 80% of the overall, let's say Verilog is there, digital is there, system Verilog is there, UVM is there, project is there. Out of that, whatever assignments are there, you complete 80% of total assignment. I'll give you job. Okay. It is because I know that if you complete this many assignments, you are good with the subject. then I can confidently refer your resume anywhere. Will the content of training remain same in all the modes, classroom, online, and self-paced? Yes, exactly same. For self-paced, every Saturday and Sunday, labs will happen. Why people go for self-paced? They have some other work during weekdays. That's why they are not able to attend regular sessions. So for them, we do every Saturday and Sunday labs. Every Saturday, Sunday it will happen. So during weekdays or any time, you can watch the videos. During the weekends, you attend the lab sessions. And for every student, there will be dedicated WhatsApp group will be there. Every student, it could be classroom, online, it could be self-paced. In that, the trainer will be added. Okay, trainer will be added, and there you get the support. There is also a flexibility where we give you option to repeat the course. Let's say you join classroom training, you join online training, you are not able to follow the course for whatever reason, we give you option to repeat the course. When is the next batch starting? It's roughly after 5 weeks, which happens to be 27th of 27th or 28th. That's around that Saturday. What percentage chance to place 2015 15%? It is not just any this thing, it's a commitment. You complete, I'll give you job. So let's do one thing. We'll go for a break. Any other questions? We'll go for a break. Once we meet after the break, we'll continue with the demo. Actually, I used to do earlier demo first, but that's good. We have answered most of the questions. Once we meet after the break, we'll continue with the demo content, the training content, the schedule, duration, any other queries you have. Okay. So let's meet around 11:10. That is another 13 minutes.
This conference will now be recorded.
We'll talk about everything. Okay. So let us start with the session. Till now we have discussed about some of the questions and what is the demo sessions and all that. And now let's go into little more into the today's session agenda. First, let us start off with understanding electronic systems. Why we are discussing about this topic is to understand what constitutes an electronic system. Okay. When I say VLSI, when I say embedded systems, what exactly is the difference between them? So let us try to understand that. Because as a fresher, you don't know that fine difference between what does VLSI engineer does, what does an embedded system engineer does. So let's first understand the difference. So to understand an electronic system, let's start with understanding what goes into a mobile phone. Okay, this is what you visualize mobile phone to be. If you open the mobile phone, what do you see? Something like this. Some chips will be there, some USB port, some various components put onto a board, what we call as either PCB board or motherboard. Finally, is what it makes an electronic system. If you try to understand what all things are there in the electronic system and what all things make up the mobile phone or an electronic system, if you ask, first thing you think of is the hardware, right? What all things are there in the hardware? The chips, processors, the screen, the USB port, the camera, sensors, audio, speaker, various things make up the hardware. Okay. Then you see there are things which we don't see also. I mean, we only see it as a hardware, but there are things which we don't see. What are that? Operating system is there, right? If without operating system, can I use the mobile phone? No, right? What could be the example of operating system? Android or iOS. Other than that, we have got firmware, applications. So various things, hardware, the operating system, the firmware and applications is what makes the electronic system. So in summary, mobile phone has 4 layers. Like what is that we said? Hardware, OS, embedded systems, I mean the firmware and the applications. So let's list on that. When I say hardware, what is an example of a hardware? Processors, camera and sensors. Who develops hardware? The person who develops hardware is called as VLSI engineer, also called as hardware engineer, or you can call him as VLSI engineer. Then what is the next layer? Firmware. Firmware is also called as drivers, like they call USB drivers, SD card drivers, different drivers. So what exactly is a driver? To understand the relation between driver and hardware, let's take a simple analogy. Okay. To understand what is firmware drivers, let's take a simple analogy. Okay. Bus is an example. The vehicle we are talking about. Okay. Bus has a driver, right? So bus is like the hardware. Driver is like the firmware. The passengers are like the applications. Then you may say, what is operating system? Something like this. Passengers make up operating system plus application together. Now, application doesn't directly talk to. Do you go and change the? Do you turn the steering wheel? No, right? As a passenger, do you turn the steering wheel? Do you apply the brake? No, right? Whatever you want to do. Let's say you want to ask the driver to stop. You want vehicle to stop. What is that you want? Vehicle to stop. You don't go and stop it. What do you tell? You give instructions to the driver that please stop the bus. So he will apply brake and stop them. Let's say for some reason you wanted to reach fast. You want to reach the destination fast. What will you do? Will you go and push the bus? No, right? What will you do? You will again inform to the driver that I want to go fast. Please increase the speed. What he will do? He has one more control, the accelerator. He will press the accelerator and make sure that the bus reaches quickly. So that means at the end, the hardware is controlled by the firmware. Firmware is further controlled by the applications. In between, to create that interface, an operating system will come. Operating system is like a person in the bus who takes your instructions. You are sitting in the end of the bus. Can you shout, stop the bus? What will you do? You will find some medium through which you convey your information to the driver. Yeah, conductor, let's say. He has to carry your information to the driver, right? That this is what one of the passenger wants. So you tell that operating system will finally tell to the driver that this is what the application wants you to do. He will in turn do this. This is how it exactly happens in the electronic system also. The communication between hardware doesn't directly talk to operating system. Operating system doesn't directly talk to, the operating system talks to application. Firmware talks to hardware. Firmware then talks to operating system. So this is the layer in which it works. Now, can a bus run without having a bus itself? Will there be any use of having drivers and passengers and conductor without any bus? Okay. Let's take other scenarios. Bus is there, passengers are there, but no driver is there. Will it work? Third case also. Bus and driver is there, no passengers. Will there be any use? So in summary, what? Everyone has an importance, their own importance. It is not like only hardware is important, only firmware is important, only applications is important. Everyone is important in their own respect. Again, going by the same thing, if the hardware itself is bad, if the bus is bad, Bus don't have a proper control, old bus. Even if the driver is very good, is it possible to get a performance? All right. That means everything has to be efficient. Or reverse also. The bus is hardware is very good, but drivers are developed badly. The person who has developed the embedded systems, embedded drivers. You understand the term why they are called as drivers? Why we are calling the using the term drivers? They control how the hardware will work. The drivers decide how the hardware will work. Going back here, who develops these drivers? Tell me. That person is called as embedded system engineer. So this is the difference. The person who develops the hardware is called as VLSI engineer. The person who develops the firmware is called as embedded system engineer. Then on firmware, what is there? Operating system. Examples are what? Android OS, iOS, Windows, Linux. The person who develops operating system is the software engineer. You see, three different people do three different works. Okay. Then what do you have finally? Applications like apps in the mobile, GPay, WhatsApp, Maps, everything. Okay. Who develops these things? It's software engineer, also called as apps developers, right? There will be people who develops the apps. All these layers are essential for electronic device to work. Even if one layer is not done properly, one layer is missing, it won't work. So this is a very brief about what is an electronic system. I hope you understood, right? My primary motive in this slide is to tell you that there is a difference between what a VLSI engineer does, what the embedded system engineer does. Embedded system engineer already has the hardware. He understands how to work with the hardware, how to program the registers, and how to make sure that hardware does the things as required. What is a VLSI engineer does? My role is to develop the chips, actually develop the hardware which will be used by the other person, other people. What is an example of driver you get in, you see in day-to-day life when you connect pen drive to the laptop? In the top bottom right corner, it will show you that Western Digital 1 terabyte hard disk is connected. That is all done by the hard drivers. Actually, once you connect the device, it detects. Drivers are responsible for detecting that a device is connected. It will figure out what type of device is connected, what is the capacity, what is the type of device is it. That is all done by the drivers. So because we are focused on we are in a VLSI demo session, so let's focus only into the hardware part, that is to understand what is involved in the development of a hardware. So one of the technology that is used in development of hardware is VLSI. What is that called as? Very large scale integration. So VLSI stands for what? Very large scale integration. Means you are integrating things, means putting together things. What is that you are integrating? We are integrating transistors. What is an example of transistor? MOSFET, FinFET, BJT, there are two major styles of developing the VLSI chips. I mean, very large scale integration, there are two major styles. What are those two major styles? One is called as ASIC, one is called as FPGA. What does ASIC stands for? Application specific integrated circuit. So this is one of the technology that is used for developing the VLSI chips. What is the involved in ASIC? Hardware is developed for specific application only. Means, you see, the name itself tells that you are developing integrated circuit specific to an application. Specific to an application, you are developing an integrated circuit. That's why it's called as ASIC. Okay. Example, mobile phone chip. Okay. In what happens in mobile phone chip? The mobile phone chip is developed in this technology, it cannot be used for something else. Can I use mobile phone chip for laptop? I cannot use it, right? It is only supposed to be used for mobile phone only. The other side of that technology is the FPGA. What does FPGA stand for? Field Programmable Gate Array. In FPGA, same hardware can be programmed to behave like different applications. You can program same hardware to behave like different applications. Means I'll have one FPGA board. I'll have the hardware called as FPGA board. I can make same FPGA board behave like a mobile phone. I can make it behave like a laptop. I can make it behave like some other electronic device also. That kind of technology is called as FPGA. Which one looks better? ASIC or FPGA? FPGA looks better initially. But as we go forward, we will see that this is what companies will prefer always. You may be thinking it is conflicting, right? Usage wise, this can be used for anything. This is only usable for one thing. Let's say you develop chip to work like a mobile phone, it will only work like a mobile phone. It cannot be used as anything else. Whereas in FPGA, you have a common board. That board can be made to work like a mobile phone. That board can be made to work like a laptop. It can be made to work like some router, whatever you want to do. So based on that, we felt this is better. But as we go forward, we will see that the cost will be high here. Let's say if it takes $50 or let's say 5,000 rupees, for example, to develop. The same thing in ASIC can be developed in 1,500 rupees. The same thing in ASIC can be developed in what? 1,500 rupees. You may say, why so much differences? Which one you can't? No. See, once my chip went into laptop. Will I take it out and use it like a laptop? Use it like a mobile phone? No, right? Once it went into laptop, it went. I won't remove it from the motherboard and I won't use it for something else, right? But the way the manufacturing happens, the way manufacturing technology works, ASIC production is cheaper. FPGA will be costly. That boards will be costly to manufacture the boards. FPGA board can be programmed to behave like a mobile phone. Same can be programmed to behave like anything else also. So initially, as I said, FPGA looked better, but cost-wise, ASIC is better. Okay. Because when you want to purchase a laptop, I'll give you two options. One laptop I'll say is 1 lakh rupees, or similar laptop you'll get for 45,000. Which one will you buy? 45,000, right? First thing, because consumers who buy the products are driven by the cost, where they'll get the same product at a lower cost. Simple, right? That's first thing. You won't worry about the time, even if it means that I have to wait for another 1 month to get it, you're still okay with that. So hence 80% of the industry works into ASIC technology. Around only 20% works into FPGA. I'll tell you again, you may say, why don't all 100%? Because if it is cheaper, why don't everyone go? Sometimes cost is second priority, other things becomes the higher priority. We'll discuss that everything now. Cost of ASIC design flow, it's multi-million dollars. Actually in ASIC, the initial investment will be very high. To set up that flow, right, it will be very high, since we need to start everything from scratch. You don't have any board. In ASIC, you don't have any board. You have to start everything from the scratch. Because of that, it will be costly. Once the flow is working, once the flow is set up, per chip cost will be less. You understood that statement? So it's like if I want to make 1,000 ASIC chips, my initial investment is, let's say, $1 million. To make 1,000 chips, let's say I take $10. What is the total cost? 1 followed by 6 zeros. and 10,000. This is the cost. Even if I have to make ten thousand ASIC chips in ASIC, my cost will be, the minimum initial investment will still be same. $1 million is constant, is common. This factor will differ. 1,000 into 10,000 into $10 per chip will become this. What is increasing the cost here? This $1 million is what is adding the overall cost. That is the major contributor. So if we want to manufacture, so now let's understand the FPGA concept. In FPGA, this will be only 1 lakh. Your initial investment will be less actually. Instead of $10 lakh, it will be only $1 lakh. Per chip cost will be very high. What is the cost here? Tell me. So for 1,000, if you want to manufacture 1,000 chips, which is cheaper? I'll put the mark so that you can easily understand. Tell me, which one is easier? You will still go with FPGA only, right? Why? Because your overall cost is $1,40,000 only in the FPGA, whereas here it is $1,010,000. What about 10,000 chips? What about 10,000 chips is 1,10,000 into 40. So this will become 4 lakhs. Still here also, now you can see the difference. Tell me now which is cheaper. Oh, sorry. This became 5,000, right? Understood this point? FPGA is cheaper. So there will come a cutoff point where if I want to make 50,000 chips, become what? Online students, please be in mute. Harshavardhani, please be in mute. Understood. Did you understood how we got this number? This initial investment will remain same. 50,000 into $10, that will become 5 lakhs plus 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. Here, now let's take what happens. 50,000 FPGA chips you want to make. 1 lakh is fixed. Initial 1 lakh investment is fixed. This will become what? 50,000. How many zeros will come? 1 followed by 5 zeros plus 20 followed by 5 zeros, right? What is this totally? Now tell me which one is cheaper. ASIC is cheaper, right? So when it comes to 50,000 chips, ASIC is overall. Per chip cost will be cheaper, right? Because if you divide, if someone asks how much did it take you to manufacture this, you will divide this number with 50,000. Here also you will divide this number with 50,000. You will see that ASIC becomes cheaper. So anything more than this point, 50,000, 60,000, which technology will you use? ASIC you will use. If I want to manufacture a mobile phone, typically how many mobile phones will sell throughout the world? lakhs of mobiles, right? Sometimes millions also. If you go and search Apple iPhone, what is the latest model? 15 Pro. How many units are sold? Number of what is the previous version? 14 Pro. Apple 14 models sold. How many? 26.5 million means what? How many? 2.65 crores. Let's convenience wise, let's take it as 3 crores. Now you do the calculation, you'll get. Tell me what is naturally the choice for them? ASIC flow is the natural choice. That's why they'll go with ASIC only, because for them this cost is the important point. See, this $10 is important. Even though initial investment is very high, because you are investing, your cost per chip will be less. Why the cost will be less? I mean, you may say, what is that is happening? What is making it so cheap? Is because they come up with a technology where they're able to develop a silicon wafer. You might have seen silicon wafer. On that, they will be able to manufacture hundreds of chips. They will cut it. They'll get each chip. That is not possible in FPGA. In FPGA, each board has to be separately fabricated. That automatically increases the cost of the FPGA board. Your initial investment will be less, but overall cost as you increase the number of chips will be very high. Cost of FPGA design flow. Initially, it will be only few $1,000 or maybe $1 lakh. Hardware is already available. Per chip cost is more. So it's like this. See, the graph is like this. As till some number, FPGA is better. The cost of FPGA will be lesser. Once you cross this number, FPGA will be more, ASIC will be less cost wise. This is the cost. That coordinate is Y coordinate is what? The cost coordinate. As you increase the number of chips on this side, initially FPGA is better, but at one threshold point, ASIC is better. Which companies go for ASIC based production? Tell me. Not just Apple. Any company who want to sell the electronic products in bulk. Okay. Best example is mobile phone, the laptop. Okay, they are all ASIC based. I mean, anything, they will do a simple calculation. It's like where we did mathematics, right? We discussed initial cost is 1 lakh, initial cost is 1 million. So per chip cost will be this much. They do like that only actually. In the companies, they do that and accordingly they decide. Anything can be manufactured in ASIC flow, anything can be manufactured in FPGA flow. But finally, it all comes down to where is that I have to spend less money. Because if my investment is more, my cost is more, I have to pass on that cost to the consumer, right? Let's say my laptop making cost itself is 30,000 rupees. Will I sell it for 25,000 rupees? No, right? I have to sell it for much more than that. That is where the companies see how can we reduce the overall cost. 85% of companies which manufacture products for bulk uses. What is not an example of bulk uses? You see any aeroplanes, right? Do we use in house? No, right? How many airplanes will be there throughout the world? Few thousands, maybe tens of thousands maximum, right? Not more than that. In all of them, you need electronics. So there, which one they will use? They'll use FPGA. The advantage of FPGA is it will be quick. You don't have to go through the entire flow. You have hardware already available. You can easily put everything into the hardware and check the behavior also. In ASIC, you have to wait for a lot of time for the chip to come out and then only you can check. Only advantage you get with ASIC is the cost. Only advantage with ASIC is what? The lower cost. You can cost and area. The chip size will be small. Have you seen any time FPGA board? You might have seen, right? The Spartan board and all that. This is how it look like. Looks very big. You can see it looks very big. To package these boards, you need bigger hardware, right? See, can my chip come out of laptop? My packaging will be bigger than my chip, right? The same thing in ASIC will be smaller, more compressed, put together. So what is the advantages ASIC will offer? Cheaper and more compact. FPGA will be quicker to the market. If you want to come out quickly into the market, release the market product quickly, you go for FPGA. But cost will be high. And if there are any issues, you can fix it easily because you just have to throw the board. You buy a new board and put again new logic. In ASIC, it's not like that. Once the chip is manufactured, you cannot change anything. So each of them has its own advantages, disadvantages. So has everyone understood what is the advantage with ASIC? Tell me what. All this aeroplane, what the hardware used in aeroplane is an example of. See, it's like same thing I said. Once you purchase some, once they have fitted hardware into the aeroplane, they won't remove aeroplane hardware and use it for something else. What I said is, it's like a board you are purchasing from the market. That you go to Xilinx, you ask them, I want to purchase a Spartan 7 board. They will sell you that board. You can make it behave like mobile phone. I'm just giving, okay, a Spartan 7 don't have the resource to work like mobile phone. Assume it can make it behave like a mobile phone. Once you have made it behave like a mobile phone, you don't want to use it as something else because it's one time only, right? At any time can we do it? Initially only we'll decide. That's the advantage. Not like that. ASIC, it happens. Your target itself after 9 months, I want a mobile phone chip. Your target itself like that. So your flow itself works in that manner. So around how many percent of company goes for ASIC? 85. Because all the electronic product you see are bulk products. They sell in bulk, like even router is there. Okay, Wi-Fi router. Do they sell in hundreds or lakhs? Lakhs only, right? So there also they'll go for ASIC. Which companies go for FPGA production? Companies which manufacture for limited applications. Only government uses some specific things. Those kind of things they may go for. But both have similar thing. I mean, FPGA is not like something different or anything. Lot of things are common between them. To understand ASIC design flow, now today's session is more focused on the ASIC design flow. So let's try to understand what happens in ASIC design flow. To understand ASIC design flow, let's take one analogy. House construction flow. How does house construction happen? It starts with the requirements. You go to an architect. You write down what kind of house do I want. Then you went to an house architect. What is the inputs you will give him? You will give him requirements. You will tell this is the house I want. This is the kind of this many floors, this many rooms, all that. Then what is that he will give you? He'll give you the architecture diagram. He'll give you various plans, plinth, electric plan, plumbing plan, everything he'll give you. Then whom will you go next? You'll go to a contractor, Mestri. Okay. Whatever input you got here, that becomes input to the next person. Okay. You may be thinking, why are we talking about house construction? It is very similar to chip construction. Making of chip is very similar to this. Only thing is here your final product is what? House. In the VLSI flow, your final product is a chip. So otherwise, everything else is similar. Similar, not same, right? Next, what is the output of this level? He will give you the building structure. Is it sufficient if you just get the structure? No, right? You still have a lot of things to do. Then you go for plumber, electrician, carpenter, painter, everyone. So in this context, if you see only if these many people are involved, house will be ready. Can we have a house ready without this person? Without this person, any person you take, everyone has their own importance. Same way in VLSI design flow also, every person has their own importance. We cannot say that design engineer is important. We cannot say that verification engineer is important. We cannot say that physical design engineer is important. Everyone has their own importance. And if I ask you how many people are there in this work totally, we can't even say that, because depending upon how you divide, sometimes you may go for some interior designing, then you need one more person in the flow. Accordingly, the number of people keeps differing. Now with this understanding, let's discuss about ASIC design flow itself. What happens? The ASIC design flow can have anywhere between 12 to 15 steps. Like house construction had 10 steps totally, for example. ASIC, the flow that is used to manufacture the chip, has 12 to 15 steps, depending upon how we divide the activity. How we divide the activity. First is called as front-end domain. Next is called as back-end domain. So the front-end domain starts with what? Requirements. Like in house construction, how did you start house construction? Will you start directly putting foundation? No, right? You will first write down what do I want from the house, how many floors, how many building, how many rooms, all that, right? Same, that is called as requirements. In chip, what is your requirements of a chip? What kind of processor you want? What kind of USB you want? What kind of display you want? What kind of memory you want? You list down all the requirements. Then whom you will go to once you have the requirement? You will go to the architect. He will give you the architecture. Then you will go to RTL design. They will see the architecture, okay, and they will understand the requirement. They will develop. This is done using a language called as Verilog. Verilog will be used to do the RTL design. Once RTL design is done, what is the next step? Small blocks are there. You have to integrate. That is called as RTL integration. You put together various small blocks to get a bigger design. Then you do functional verification. Ideally speaking, I should call it as RTL verification. That will be easy for you to understand, right? Because one is RTL design, RTL design, RTL integration, RTL functional verification. Then you do DFT, design for testability at the Verilog RTL level also. I mean, what is DFT? I will explain in some time. It is a technology used to detect the manufacturing defects. See, once I manufacture the chip, there can be some defects inside the chip. To find out any defects, we use the DFT, design for testability concept. See, inside the chip, you can't, let's say, we'll take laptop. Inside the laptop, there is a manufacturing defect. Some wire got loosed inside the laptop. Just by looking at the laptop, can I tell that something got opened, some loose connection is there? What will I do? Tell me. If I give you such a laptop where I ask you to check whether laptop internally everything is fine or not, what will you do? First thing is you might try to open the laptop and check. But the problem with chip is you cannot open it. Chips you cannot open it, right? Because once it's manufactured, you cannot do anything. What is that you will do is you will take the same laptop, you will apply different types of inputs so that if there is some issue at this point, it should come out and we should see that problem. We should be able to check that point, each and every point. Any point inside the chip, you should be able to check. That concept is called as scan. Ability to scan. in the internals of the, like you do body scanning, right? What do they do in body scanning? They check any infection, anything is there in your body. In DFT also there is a scan. They don't do the body scanning, they do the chip scanning. That concept they call it as scan.
Function verification is not the same way.
Functional verification happens at the coding level. That is for functional issues. DFT is for the manufacturing defects. See, while you are manufacturing, what is the technology you are using for manufacturing? 5 nanometer. You know what is 5 nanometer, right? It's very, very, very small. I mean, if this is, whatever line you see here is 1 millimeter. This width is 1 millimeter. Divide that line into 1 by 10 lakh times. Cut that line into 10 lakh times vertically like this. What you get is a 1 nanometer. At that point, at that level, there can be manufacturing defects. See, what is manufacturing defect? Some metal will get connected to each other. That's a manufacturing defect. It is nothing to do with functional. So during the manufacturing, what happened? Two wires which are going parallelly, the metal got spread and they got connected. That is called as manufacturing defects. That is not a functional defect. Let me tell you, this is not a functional defect. It is a manufacturing defect. To identify those manufacturing defects, we use DFT technology. Then starts the backend domain. Backend domain has synthesis, where you convert RTL code into gate level. Then DFT at the gate level, physical design. Then you have static timing analysis. Then you have custom layout. Then you have physical verification, GDS2 extraction, post silicon validation, packaging. Finally, once you do packaging, you have the electronic. Putting together everything and doing the packaging is what gives you this final thing. So what you notice here is the mobile phone which you are using, it went through so many phases before it came to your hand. Let's say you purchased a mobile phone in 2023. The work on that mobile phone started somewhere in 2021. They started working 2-3 years back. The architecture was developed. Like you do house warming ceremony today. When the house construction would have started? 6 months, 1 year back, depending upon the house. Let's say house is very big, 2 years back. If the house is only very small, 3 months back. So depending upon the complexity of the chip, decides. You got right? You got a basic idea. No. DFT is also done at the coding level only. Actually, what DFT engineer does is, he will not sit and do the verification. DFT engineer will not check the chips. DFT engineer generates test patterns. These test patterns are given to post silicon validation engineer. Given to whom? Post silicon validation engineer. He will apply. I told you, right? You take a chip, you apply these patterns here, you get an output. That output will tell whether this chip is good or chip is bad. DFT will work only at software. Only when it comes to the post silicon validation, there the hardware will start. You know where the hardware start in this entire flow? Here. Till here, everything is software only. You do, everything is done on the laptop by coding or something, by using tools. Only once you fabricate the chip, your hardware has come into your hand. After that only it happens. You remember one question, one student asked a question sometime back. I have worked for pre-silicon. Okay, he is doing same thing. In some cases, they write post-silicon verification. That means they're doing the post-silicon validation work. You got this flow, right? Majorly, we divide all these activities into two categories. What is this? Front-end domain. What is this? Back-end domain. Okay.
But architecture will be replaced.
Architecture,
Which will be
which will be
replaced. Which one? Like if we design means RTL design, sir.
yeah.
But the architecture place what work we need to do, sir.
We don't do. It is done by someone with 15-20 years experience. Every chip will have an architecture where the processor will come, where the GPU will come, where the memories will come, where the USB will come. That diagram is called as architecture diagram.
We need to write the code for
We need to write the code. Just please go through this once. I'll be back.
Hi.
Just give me 1 minute. I'll be back. Then I'll take your question.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take. So your question is there any course on architecture? Architecture is something people learn with experience. Generally, in any company, if you go, they won't have anyone less than 15 years experience person to do the architecture. What is very important in building? Architecture is important. Why architecture is important? Let's say they're drawing the structure. Here he's giving the pillar. Instead of that, he gives somewhere else. What will happen to the structure? It'll have a problem, right? The structural issues will be there. Same way, if architect does something wrong, one mistake, entire thing will be wrong. Hence, for a fresher, for juniors, architecture is not given. Yeah, someone online had a question. Please ask now.
What is GDS2 extraction?
What is GDS2 extraction? Is let me show you in the Google. GDS2 stands for Graphic Design System 2. In VLSI contains physical information of the design. What is meant by physical information is, let's say I decided to make my own mobile phone and I want to sell the mobile phone. I went through all this process. Finally, I have to get the chip fabricated, right? Once the chip is fabricated, then I will do what? Packaging. For this to be fabricated, there will be some fabrication companies will be there. Have you heard of company called as TSMC? Okay. There are another 3-4 companies are there who manufacture the chips. Huh? Yeah, all those things are there. So how do you give them information? See, for you to manufacture, for you are sitting here, you want to tell them that this is the chip I want you to manufacture. How will you tell them? Is like this. At very basic level, silicon should be there. Then you will tell, at this point metal should be deposited, at this point polysilicon should be done, at this point oxidation should be done, this much doping should be done. That you will tell them clear information. This is where metal should come, this is where substrate should come, this is where drain should come. That when you tell, they follow that steps, they develop wafers. During fabrication, I have heard the term wafer. They process that. For them to do that process, you need to give that physical information. Where exactly is the metal, where exactly is the polysilicon, where is the oxidation, where the etching should be done, how much doping should be done. that information is called as, that information, that file is called as GDS2. Is that clear to you?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
So now that we have understood a very basic about what is front-end domain, what is back-end domain, in summary, you go for front-end domain if you are interested in programming kind of job role. Means you have done some C programming before and you like programming. I mean, you have some inclination for programming, then you can automatically go for front-end. Okay. If you don't like programming at all, okay, you want to get into a non-programming kind of domain, then you can choose backend.
Who have more Java
Job opportunities, currently there is a better scope in functional verification.
front end or back end?
That's what, see, front end as of things change. See, if I tell you in house construction, again going back to the example, who will have more opportunity, plumber or carpenter? When house construction happens, everyone has a work, right? It's a relatively, sometimes the change will happen. Like right now, this has more opportunities. It may come after 1 year time where these people may have little more opportunities than front end. See, I would say this is 60%. This would be 40%. So front end has relatively better chance of getting a job compared to back end. So having said that, I won't tell that no jobs here. Jobs are there, but as of today, market is very down. So now let us talk about front-end domain flow, because today's demo session is what? Front-end domain. Let's talk about front-end domain flow topics. Front-end domain flow is similar to software flow. Like what a software engineer does, it is similar to that. What is the skill set of a software engineer? He should be good with programming like C, C++, Java. They should be good at understanding the requirements, develop the algorithms, implement C, C++, and Java, implement using these languages. Similarly, for a front-end domain engineer, what is the skill set is? Like C is there, Verilog. Like C++, system Verilog. Like Java, UVM. Like software engineer learns these languages, a front-end domain engineer learns these languages. Then, like understanding the requirement, here we should be able to read the given design specifications and implement the requirements using various protocols. Protocols are like USB protocol, PCI Express protocol, DDR protocol, SPA protocol. You see, remember 1 hour back, one student was asking, I want to learn PCI Express and NVM. So that is this things he's talking. Because entire chip works using protocols. If I'm connecting pen drive into my laptop, okay, I'm inserting pen drive. There is a protocol involved, how the data transfer happens from laptop to pen drive to laptop. That rules we need to understand as a VLSI engineer. See, in software, there is no backend flow. Because do you manufacture a software? No, right? Once you develop the software, it is installed into the laptop and it is used. You don't manufacture a software. Because of that, very important thing happens. So what is backend flow means? Process of converting the code into a chip. The process of converting the code into a chip is called as backend flow. Chips don't have any concept of patch. See, what is meant by patch is you develop some software. Some bug is there. You're using it. Some bug is there inside that. What do companies do? They will release a patch so that that software bug can be fixed. In chips, there is no patch. What is meant by patch in chips? There is no patch means once you manufacture a chip and it went into mobile phone, you cannot take it out and fix it and put it back. Once there is a bug in the chip, it is all gone, wasted. Software is not like that. In software, if there is any issue in the software, you can always rectify the code and release a new version of the software. Okay. Hence, VLSI is very critical. I mean, if you don't do the verification properly, it's very, very problematic. In software, even if you miss something, there's always something called as patch. You can always reverse the things. So in summary, this is the pre-synthesis flow. Means front-end domain flow starts with requirements, architecture, design, integration, and verification. Then you have back-end flow, which is post-synthesis flow, which starts with synthesis, gate level simulation, DFD, physical design, static timing analysis, custom layout, physical verification, fabrication, and post-silicon validation. Let us understand the different job roles in the VLSI domain. Means you see in software, it's very easy, right? There are only 3 job roles. Architect, a person will be architect who architects the software. Second person is the developer who develops the software. Third person will be tester. If you ask any software, let's say you know anyone who works into software domain, he will be one of these 3. So they will say, I'm working as a QA engineer. What is QA engineer? Tester only, right? Person who does QA, quality analysis, is the tester only. Essentially, any person you ask in software domain, he will be either 2 only, because they mostly, for a lower experience, they won't be architects. There'll be only 2 things, either developer or tester. In VLSI, the problem is there are so many job roles are there. Less number of people also will be there in the market. Less people who apply for jobs. Hence, here also there will be good chance of getting a job. Okay, for a software job, anyone can apply. BSc, MSc, MCA, MBA people. Anyone. For VLSI, it's only electronics people or electrical people only. Different job roles are like the person who does requirements, design requirement, who collects the design requirements is called as marketing team. Person who develops architecture is called as design architect. Person who does RTL coding is called as RTL design engineer. Person who does RTL integration is called as RTL integration engineer. Person who does verification is called as functional verification engineer. Like that, for every job role, there is one person is there. The important thing you need to understand here is, throughout, in most of the cases, throughout their career, they will only do one work. For example, I worked in the job for 14 years or less, around 14 years. I only did this work. I only did this work, nothing else. During my job, if I didn't have this institute, I don't know what is this also. I don't know what is this also. I only did functional verification throughout 14 years, nothing else other than that. Then I know my friends who are only doing DFT, nothing else. So that is where as I said, it is based on which domain you get into, you will be doing the same job. It's not about knowing many things. It's about knowing one domain. Let's say you say you are good in RTL coding, you should be expert in RTL coding, even if you don't know anything else. Typically, how the distribution will be, how many people will be there in each domain, let's understand. If total, let's say you are working into mobile phone SoC project. SoC stands for what? System on chip. So whatever goes into my mobile phone is called as a SoC. What went into my laptop is called as a SoC, because it's entire system going into one chip. Entire system is going into one chip. That's why it's called as system on chip. In a mobile SoC, that means that company who is working in developing of mobile phone chips, assume that they have a 50-member team. Around 25 to 30 people will be in front-end domain. Around 20 to 25 will be in backend domain. See, which domain has more people? Front-end domain has more people. Even in that, which domain has more people? Let's say front-end domain has these three subcategories. Where more people are there? Functional verification. That's around 30 to 40% of the people. Because verification is very important. You may say, why people are less for these domains? You want to construct a house. How many architects do you need? Only one, right? One architect will give the plan. Do you go to 10 people to get architectures? No. When it comes to design also, then you may say, why less people here? They mostly do reuse. See, some IP is already available. They just buy it and use it. Companies. They don't develop everything from scratch. Hence, here also less people are. But when it comes to verification, you still have to verify everything from scratch. I mean, you cannot say that somewhere else it worked, so here it will work in this phone also. I cannot say. I have to do everything from scratch. Hence, there you spend 30 to 40% of the people are required there. Coming to backend domain, you need little less compared to front end domain people. There also, which domain has more opportunities? Physical design, around 20 to 30%. Remaining people are some people into DFT, some people into static timing analysis, some people into layout. See, I didn't write down everything. There is something called as synthesis. There is something called as IR drop analysis, post silicon validation, physical verification. I didn't list down everything. I'm just giving a top level overview.
Verification can do design also.
It's not so straightforward, right?
When you see maybe knowing Verilog also.
Knowing Verilog is one thing. No ability to develop the complex designs is second thing. But you can do with by learning the techniques. You can move. You can a verification engineer can do design also. It is possible. You got the idea, right? That is where you see lot of openings. Lot of people openings will be into this domain. Lot of openings into this domain.
Future also.
It will be like this only. The point you need to understand is, see, DFT has less people, right? But number of people who join DFT also it will be very less. Let's say in our institute, for example, 40 people join into this course. This domain only DFT only 8 people will join, or 10 people will join maximum. Automatically it adjusts. Because functional verification has more opportunities, more people go there. DFT has less opportunities, very less people join. But don't think that no one will get placed in DFT. People do get placed. Yes, some cases, yes. Because they probably won't be comfortable with programming, they go for backend. Why it's not moving? Wait, I'll just tell you 1 second. Why it's not? Yeah. Now let us talk about the training schedule. Please tell me. Yeah. AI will be able to impact more. AI can impact anything, both. To be frank, it is too early to say what it can do, but it can do many things. No, you don't learn AI, right? AI is developed by someone. What is AI doing? AI is learning whatever you are doing and it's doing instead of you. So what will happen? I'll tell you. In not to terrify you, what will happen? I'll tell you. Right now, if 100 people are required, if AI comes, same work 70 people will do. So who are at the risk? 30%. So 30% bottom performers will be at the risk. If you are a good performer, you won't be at risk. How world works is If Qualcomm is running, you know Qualcomm, you know Intel. Why Intel is working? Because you buy laptops. Why? When will you buy laptops? No, no, no. When you earn money. When will you earn money? When you have a job. Okay. If you don't have a job and everything is done by AI, who will buy products? If you don't buy products, then what companies will do? Then everyone has to go back to farming. That 100 years back, if AI does everything, then everyone has to go back to farming. Farming it cannot do. So what I'm telling is, system will not change so much that everyone will lose jobs. People need to have a job for economy to work. Understood what I said? If jobs are not there, there won't be any revenue for the companies. If revenue is not there, then there is AI or its father also won't have any work. So jobs will always be there. It could be VLSI job or some other job related to that. It's all about your ability, your intelligence. How will you adapt? That is what is it. But jobs will be there for sure. When the jobs will go, I'll tell you. When petrol and diesel goes off, then we'll go back to farming. Till then, when as long as petrol is available cheaply, diesel is available cheaply, this will continue. Nothing. Let's not deviate so much. You understood the idea, right? You understood. So you don't. What I'm trying to tell you, even if AI comes, you don't have to worry about jobs. Jobs have to be there for the economy to sustain. If jobs are not there, everything will crash and nothing will work. AI itself won't work. Let's talk about training schedule. Mode of training. Training is available in full week. If someone is a working professional, they can go for weekends only training. Sometimes based on the availability of the students, even we can even plan weekdays, evening batches also. Full week is available in online, offline, hybrid mode. What does it mean? You can attend entire course online if you want. You can attend entire course offline also. You can work in hybrid also. What is hybrid? For some time you are attending online, sometime offline. Let's say today you come online, tomorrow offline. Otherwise 1 month online, 1 month offline. Anything is possible. In all these cases, you get recorded video of the session for 10 days for every session. Let's say you attend today's session. Today's session video will be provided to you for 10 days duration so that you can revise it. Weekend only, it will be online sessions. In front end, okay. In back end, we have offline also. Dedicated mentor for offline doubt clarification. Let's say you are in Bangalore, you want to come to the institute for some support. You can come, even though you are a weekend student, you can come to the institute for doubt clarification, discussion, everything. You may say, why it's only online, why not offline? Because mostly what is happening is these courses are taken by working professionals. They don't want to come to the institute, they want to attend from their home, done. So that's why we went for only online. Access to all the recorded videos for entire course duration. You see, understand, if it is full week, it's only 10 days access to the videos. If it is weekends only, access to all the recorded videos for entire course duration. That's, you are attending live every day, then you need only 10 days or 2 weeks only, right? If this person is attending only weekends, he needs video access so that he can watch it during the weekdays, right? He should also have advantage, right? Because he's not attending entire live. Access to all recorded. Okay, next, weekdays evening batches based on the number of students. If there is only one student, probably we can't do. If there is a group of at least 4 or 5 students, we can run evening batches also. Irrespective of mode of training, every student has a dedicated mentor for doubt clarification. Talking about RTL design verification, I said all these courses are same. Design verification, ASIC verification, everything is same topic only. Talking about functional verification training, which most of you want to attend, it's a 8 months course. Purposefully we kept it long. For me it's easy if I finish the course in 6 months, right? For me, if you ask me what is easy for me, I mean what will be better for me, It'll be better for me to finish the course in 6 months instead of doing it for 8 months. The problem why we do 8 months is to make sure that the quality doesn't get impacted. Okay. In people who come to the institute do not have a lot of fundamentals. Actually, they don't have a lot of fundamentals. Everything has to be taught from the very basics. Hence we have to keep each course long duration. Like for example, digital design we do for almost 4 weeks. Verilog we do almost for 10 weeks. Some other institute, some comparable institute, they may finish this in 6 weeks. Actually, they do that. From a student perspective, the difference of 4 weeks is very important. It's the difference between what is your quality of learning. The same subject if I teach you in 6 weeks, same subject if I teach you in 10 weeks, there's a big difference between your learning ability, how well you learn. System Verilog again we do for 10 weeks. I know another institute which finishes it in 5 weeks. You will find a difference. I mean, this gives me flexibility to go deep into the topic. Does it mean will I teach only 1 hour every day? No, every day 4 hours will be there. Okay.
Take this 8-month course in weekends, how many days?
No, 8 months only, because you get the videos, you watch the videos during the weekdays. In the weekends, it's a revision only. We won't teach everything again on weekends. 8 months, 6 days per week, 4 hours per day, recorded video access for 10 days. Training is divided into 3 phases. The first phase will be 2.5 months, during which we teach advanced digital design, Verilog, and GVM text editor. Actually, my understanding is currently this itself is going for 3 months. Around 2 to this will go for 2 to 2.5 months. Phase 2 will consist of system Verilog and UVM, Linux commands, and soft skill training. So you see, as soon as phase 1 and phase 2 is done, you can start. Your placement support will start, because when you apply for a company, they'll hire you based on digital design. How good are you in digital design? How good are you in Verilog, system Verilog, and UVM? Immediately they don't worry about project. If you are very good with this subject, they'll hire you. Okay. So you don't, even if this goes, let's say phase 3 goes for 5 months, you don't have to worry. Tell me why? Because your placement support anyway starts. Since your placement support anyway starts, even if it goes for another 2 months or 3 months, you don't have to worry. Okay. So phase 3 is industry standard hands-on projects like AXI, AHB, APB, Ethernet, MAC test bench projects. Scripting will be taught. SOC flow will be taught, basics. Okay. What is the significance of this is phase 1 and phase 2. What you learn here will help you in getting job. Phase 3 helps you perform in the job. These two will only help you get to the job level. To survive industry, you should work on some industry standard projects. Okay. This is where most of the times I have seen the difference between our institute and any other institute. Now you ask me why they can also run for 8 months, right? Why don't they run for 8 months, 1 year? Is generally what I've seen, the place is the limitation. Many times, many institute I have seen, they will have 2 or 3 training rooms. Most of the places I've seen, you have to run many batches, means you have to finish the batches, only then you can start new batches, right? We have planned in such a way that we have almost 10 training rooms. It gives us, it's in ground, second and third. Okay, it gives us enough space to run a batch even for 10 months. If I have to run one batch for 10 months, I don't have any space problem. this is actually the reason. I mean, one is because to run 8 months, you need to spend so many trainers and all that. For me, my point is simple. If I run a batch for 6 months, if I send you into the market with half preparation, let's say your learning is not good, I send you into the market, there are three problems. One is you will face problem because your preparation is not good. Even if you get a job, you will face a problem. Second, who will face the problem? Your preparation is not good. Company will face the problem. The company who has hired you, they will face a problem because your preparation is not complete. They will again have to give some additional training. Third, who will face the problem? Institute will face the problem. So what is the easy way to solve the problem? Extend the training, spend more time, and give a better quality, relatively better quality, where you are well prepared, company is also happy, you are happy, institute also fine. So that is where we increase the duration. Initially, it was only 6 months only, even for us. We kept on increasing. Then we thought, let's not worry about the duration at all. Let's not worry about duration. But just to not to impact you, we finish the important things in 6 months so that your placement support starts. Once your placement support starts, you don't worry about the other things, right? Because anyway, you can do that from home, whatever. That's how we have planned always. Yeah. 1.5 hour theory, around 2.5 to 3 hours lab.
We are in online, means we need to find
Online only. Right now, how many people are in classroom? Tell me right now. No. Here in this offline, how many are there? 5, 6, 5. Okay. How many are online? At 1.45. So they will also get the support. I can take any of them. I can make any of them presenter. Let's say this person, Amarjit. I can make him a presenter. He can share his screen and I can see what is the issue is facing. I can suggest and I can debug his issues. All that is possible in live session. It's possible. Yeah, please ask.
सर फेज वन में जो डिजिटल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हम लोग को पढ़ाया जाएगा तो बेसिक लेवल से पढ़ाया जाएगा ना सर?
यस, बहुत ही बेसिक लेवल से हम लोग पढ़ाएंगे। जैसे अभी digital design combinational. Okay, digital design is covered as two topics: combinational and sequential. Starting from number systems, radix conversions, k-maps, min terms, max terms, logic gates, realization of the logic gates, complements, arithmetic operations using complements, Boolean expression minimization, De Morgan theorem, and POS and SOP format, adder, subtractor, everything will be covered from the very basics. Clear to you? Only challenge, Obi, I will tell that also. The only challenge you will face is things move quickly. Means digital design in your during your BTech spreads over one semester, which is around 4.5 months or 5 months. Here, same digital design gets over in 3 to 4 weeks maximum. 3 times more than what you study there. In your BTech, you don't study too much digital. You study only very minimum. Okay. What you study here is 3x in 1/4 of the same time. So here, the quality of training will be good, because why quality will be good is, for a college, they don't have to make you get a job. They have to just make sure that you have 70%, 60%. Okay. For an institute, we have to make sure that you are prepared for the job. You should, it's not just about completing a course, it's that when you get into the job, you should be able to perform there. So there we have to teach that level of training only. Hence our course will be very in-depth. If I go here also, I mean, I can just show you sampling any topic. If I take Verilog also, just to teach Verilog language itself, only to teach Verilog language, my course will have almost 430 presentation slides. covers everything from the basics, how to work with the text editor, working with GVim text editor, how to use the techniques, how to use the shortcuts, then how Verilog language has evolved, and how to implement the combination logic, very basic combination logic, how to implement half adder, full adder, half subtractor, everything in the combination logic. Once it is done, then we go to Verilog language execution, literals, everything. Basically, PPT and coding also will be done parallelly. PPT is the reference, then I do coding. For example, I did one Verilog batch recently. Okay, there we did. It's a Verilog is there. It is for July batch. Their Verilog started in July. Digital has started in June 20, like that. Sometime they started in July. I started there Verilog. So it took me, just to teach Verilog, it took me 44 sessions total. Each session we develop some codes. We also write the notes. For example, if I go to session 3, every session I would have developed some programs and I will even write the notes. So this is the process we follow. While teaching it, I will use my presentation. It's not like I will only read through presentations. Everything is covered practically here. For example, yesterday, this was yesterday's session. Okay. Here we covered how to develop some SPI controller. I showed you, right, in Verilog projects, one topic is their SPI controller. That is what we have done. Like that, it will be covered. Okay.
All the protocols will be telling phase 3.
Not all the protocols. APB will be covered here. SPI will be covered here. AXI will be covered here. Some other projects will be covered. We distribute. If I teach everything in one place, it will be complex. We go in a gradual, complex manner. First, we teach simple things, then medium complex, then finally the complex things.
In first phase, there won't be lab for advanced digital.
Advanced digital problem solving will be there. For every topic, assignments will be there. Go to digital design or any topic for that matter. Let's say Verilog. There will be a lot of assignments will be there. Each assignment is very detailed one. It explains everything. I mean, just to help you do half adder, there will be very detailed guidelines because you are doing for the first time, right? We give you detailed instruction. For remaining things, we give you the top level overview, what to do. So what I told is, I told you one statement, right? 80% you do. How many assignments are there around here? Let's say forget till here. 20 assignments are there. In this 20 assignment, you need to do 16 assignments properly on average. You don't need to do everything yourself only. Every topic, every question, you get the guidance. Like you'll be sitting here, trainer will be sitting, trainer will say, do the second question. You're doing, you're facing some problem. Trainer will come and help you. Then you may say, then why nobody, everyone is not able to do? People lack motivation. They lack motivation. Sometimes they don't come to the class. Sometimes they don't have interest to learn the subject. That's the only problem. Otherwise, if you do just common sense, you come every day, you do the assignments, whatever trainer is teaching you learn, you will get a job. Okay. Even today I'm committing. You do 80% of the assignments. I'll give you 100% job. Not very complex. I'm not asking you to innovate anything, do something really different. Whatever is here, and I will be teaching everything in the classroom also. You just have to follow whatever I teach, whatever notes I give, just do the same questions. Okay. For example, here, first assignment, you see, I have done, let's say, adders, multiplexers, everything. Okay. In my exam, my thing also, I would have covered the same topics. See, I covered half adder. I covered full adder, different types of full adder. I covered multiplexers. I covered comparators, priority encoder. Then we move to next topic. How many sessions did I did? 6 sessions, 7 sessions only on combination logic. Students just have to keep that motivation and complete these assignments themselves. Whatever topic I covered in the classroom, they have to do themselves. Now, coming back to this. So in summary, my point is by extending the course by another 2-3 months, it helps everyone. You learn subject better. It is helpful for the companies also because they don't have to spend again time to train you. It's good for our institute also. Okay. Next. Experienced people, it will be 6.5 months because for them there is no digital, there is no very long. It will be less duration. Same schedule. Initial schedule they learn system Verilog and UVM. Second schedule they learn industry standard projects. FPGA, let trainer talk about it. All the topics related to FPGA will be covered here. Even DFT, let trainer talk about these topics. Okay. During the dedicated session, trainer will cover DFT related things. So physical design also I'll skip. See, every chip will have, if you take a mobile phone, let's say, some part of the chip is digital, some part of the chip is analog. It's not like top portion is digital, not like that. I'm just giving you percentage. It will be around 80%. This could be around 20%. During the beginning of your career, you decide, do I want to get into digital domain aspect? Do I want to get into analog domain aspect? Right now, by coming to VLSI Guru Institute, you decided to get into digital domain aspect. Now, if you ask me, no, I want to go into analog domain, you have to follow different path. There are no analog training institutes in Bangalore. Companies don't hire. Companies hire if you, very limited companies will work in analog, very limited companies like Texas Instruments, National Instruments, Advanced Micro Devices. There are some, hardly 4-5 companies are there, or 10 companies. Okay, those companies they hire mostly from the top colleges. So hence, even if you go undergo training, your chance of getting a job in analog is less. You know what is analog I'm talking, right? All these differential amplifier, operational amplifier, A to D converter, PLLs, GPIOs, all those becomes the analog aspects. But even if you learn them, the currently your chance of getting a job is not very high. Okay, so how to choose the right course? Now that we have discussed about these domains, let's now talk about. The thing is, if you want to go for physical design, it requires a different skill set. You should learn semiconductors, device fundamentals, IC fabrication, VLSI technology. You need to learn how the resistance work, how the capacitance work, how the RC circuit will work. It's a different skill set you need basically, which you don't need for a front-end domain. You need to learn various aspects that goes into physical design flow. Okay. Now let's talk about, with so many things, how do I choose the right course? You need 3 kind of expertise. First one is functional verification. First you can talk about functional verification. It requires good level of programming expertise. It requires a good programming expertise to work into functional verification domain. If you ask me, do I need to come with good programming expertise? No need. You should have that inclination that, okay, you should have confidence that given a chance, I can learn the programming. Okay, I don't expect you to know anything of C also. Even if you don't know anything of C also, no problem. But you should have your confidence on yourself. Okay. It has good opportunities. Second is FPGA system design. medium level of programming expertise, expertise of working with tools. You need to work with some EDA tools, softwares. It also has opportunities, good opportunities, because less people undergo this training. Because of that, they have better chance of getting a job. Then third, we have VLSI, backend domain. Their physical design, DFT, custom layout you can do. No programming expertise. You don't need any programming skill set at all. Mostly tool and technology oriented job. Technology means what? Understanding MOSFET, understanding short channel effects, understanding the concepts like RC circuits. All those technology concepts you need to understand. Accordingly, you choose which one is good for you. Course flexibility. We do offer flexibility. What is the flexibility? Is you join any course, switch to any other course up to 2 months, no additional fee. No need to repeat the entire 2 months course. You may ask, after 2 months, do I have to repeat everything again? Not required. You can see there is a batch which has started after your batch. They have completed digital design. You can start from that point onwards. You will only essentially lose 1 month time. Initial 1 month is common for all the courses. So you don't have to start from very beginning. 1 month, after 1 month, you can rejoin other batch. So this flexibility is there. If you ask me, can I join after 3 months? It is possible, but there will be some additional cost will be there, because 3 months is a lot of time, right? So for 1 month, we charge additionally. Now, preparing for the job. First thing when you decide to take any course here is that you should have a minimum IQ level. I don't know how much is IQ level minimum required. How much is that? I'll tell you simple. If I tell simple questions, if I ask you what is 2 to the power of 7 divided by 2 to the power of 5, what is the answer? Tell me. Tell me.
4, sir.
4. So person should tell 4 immediately. Within 2-3 seconds, person should tell. How? 7 power, 5 power. Here 2 will be left. 2 power 2 is what? 4. This much IQ level is required. If you come anything less than this level, it's difficult for me to teach you. Understood? Is it a very complex question? All right. This level of thing is required. I mean, if you ask me, won't people have that much level also? People won't have. There are times where people don't know many basics also. Okay. So that is where I suggest, if you are very poor with your basic mathematical skills, aptitude skills, take 1 month break. I tell in my classroom also, you will get a lot of books for logical quantitative aptitude. Just 1 month, do only that. Only that. No VLSI, no Verilog, no digital design. Because once your brain is ready for problem solving, then you are ready for learning anything new. Otherwise, if you are not ready with the basics, right, then you can't learn anything. Even if you learn, it will be waste. So it's a serious suggestion that if you feel that you are not very good with the basics, first you should do 1 month, buy a book, just 1 month, sit throughout the day, just finish off one quantitative aptitude book 2-3 times. Then you join a course. Need not be here, anywhere you join, but make sure that you do that. That way you will be ready to come up to that level. See, I'll tell you, I asked you one simple question, right? 7 by 2.5. If person doesn't do this quickly, very difficult for me to teach at that level. Next, preparing for the job. What is the difficult part of the overall training? Things move quickly. Things move very quickly here, because if I do the way in the college the course is spread, my course will go for 1.5 to 2 years actually. 8 months of training is roughly equivalent to whatever you learn in 2 years. You take any 2 years of your BTech, that much knowledge you get in 8 months only. Like I told you, 3 weeks of fully focused training is 3 times more than what you do in BTech. But your BTech course is spread over one semester, right? So there you get time to learn each and everything slowly. Okay, I'm mentally preparing you. That's what. Before joining course, I'm making sure that you understand the difficult part of the training. Verilog is 8 weeks. Again, it's a one semester course for you there. But what you learn in Verilog here is lot more than what you do in your BTech. Okay. Then you may say, why is it so? Why not in college? The problem is colleges, people are not paid properly. See, your faculty who's teaching you is paid 15,000 a month. How will he teach? How will they get good faculty there? Maybe they're paid 30,000 a month or 40,000 a month. Same person, if he gets a job here, instead of 40,000, he'll get 2 lakhs per month. So where will he do? Tell me, where will he work? He'll work in Bangalore only, right? That's where you don't have good faculty in colleges. Even the colleges don't cooperate, don't encourage the right way. There, your knowledge there gets limited actually. But here we don't have an alternate because we have to teach in the right way so that you get a job. Then only we are able to sustain. How much time needs to be spent totally? If you ask me overall, how much time I should spend? Around 900 hours of effort. If you ask me overall over 8 months time or 7 months time, how much time do I need to give? 900 hours. It's not very high actually. If you count, let's say I'm talking about 8 months. 8 months is how much? 240 days roughly, including everything, right? 900 by 240 is how much? 3.5 hours per day. If you just spend 3.5 to 4 hours, including the classes you attend, after this much time, you'll have a job. Again, if you ask me why people don't get job, they don't attend this 900 hours. They don't attend this also. I mean, let's say initially the batch strength is 40. By the time we go to 9th month, the batch will be 50. So many people, I can't take all the blame on myself. We teach properly. Actually, we take each and every subject properly. Why we teach everything properly? I understand that training institute is the last phase of your education. Right? After school, there is a junior college. After junior college, there is a college. But after coaching institute, there is nothing else for you. So here we make sure that we spend time and we teach everything properly. Because if something goes wrong in your elementary school, there is a high school to correct it. Something goes wrong in high school, there is a college. But after training institute, there is nothing. So we understand that we teach everything in a proper manner. Performance tracking. We track each and every student's performance individually. We mark them into 3 categories: good performing student, average performing student, poor performing student. Okay, it is done for our assessment. For a poor student, what should be done to bring him up to a level? So why is poor? For multiple reasons. One is his problem solving ability itself is poor. Then we suggest him, do this, come up to a level, then you start the course. We give them option to pause for course for few weeks. You learn the things, then you come back. Or any other support you can do. Any other support we can do from the institute. We do that actually. Okay. How do we map? How do we say someone is good, average, or poor? We have a criteria, like 50% of focus is on the assignments. If you do assignments properly, that amounts to 50% of your performance. 10% is only for attendance. Whether you attend or you don't attend also, I don't bother. You complete assignments or not is what is very important. 20% is evaluation test. Every topic, every month, there will be one evaluation test. Based on that performance also, we track your performance. 10% is for presentations. Like every student, every month, will have to give a presentation. Like I'm sitting here and doing presentation, we'll ask you to do the presentations. Why? First month you will be having stage fear. Second month, third month. By 8th month, you're better. You know how to talk to people, how to explain the things. That is very important for interviews, because when you go to interview, you should know how to explain the things to the other person. That skill set you develop here. Student is given a topic, he is asked to do the presentation. One presentation every month. 10% mock interview. Every month there will be a mock interview just to help you understand, where to improve and all that. For every student, there will be a dedicated WhatsApp group to track and to support you. In that WhatsApp group, trainer will be there, admin will be there, student will be there. For any technical support, trainer will help you. So what is the final goal of 32 weeks of training? Okay. Enable you to work in the job independently. See, when you go to a company, their expectation is that if they give you one activity, they want you to do it yourself. You should not go to the manager and ask, what is this? What is this? He don't want that. Because if at all that was his requirement, he will only do, right? If he has to support every small thing, why does he need to hire you? It's like in a bank, clerk is there. If clerk work, everything manager has to tell step by step, then why clerk is required? So same is the here also. When they hire you, they won't give you very complex things. The work will be based on whatever we learn. Expectation is that you should be able to do that independently. This training helps you reach that level. Okay. Feedbacks and all that, I don't want to show too many things. Yeah. We do have a good feedback. We do take regular feedback from the student, and we keep assessing how the feedback is there. Uh, it's all good. Yeah. Now we can take any questions you have. I think mostly I have answered the questions. Do you have any questions other than this? Any questions you have? Those attending online, do you have any questions? Okay, if you don't have any questions, we'll end the session. So I'll tell you the training plan will be Monday, the batch will commence. Course commences. The initial 2.5 to 3 months will be, initial 1 week will focus on some GVim text editor concepts. Then overall 2.5 to 3 months will go for phase 1. What is covered in phase 1? Advanced digital design. Tell me what else? Very long. Yeah, this is what I want in the class. Attention to the class. What I covered 15 minutes back, you should be able to tell. That will come. You are focused in the class, you listen. That should be good. That's a phase 1 is what? Advanced digital design. Verilog and GVim. Then phase 2, which will go for again 3 months, where we cover SV and UVM. Phase 3 will be the projects. In case you miss any session, you can always watch the recorded video. Second option is what? You want to take a break. After 3 months, you have some work for whatever reason. You can pass the course for 2 months, 6 months. You can again come back and continue the course. Institute runs for the student flexibility. As long as it doesn't impact the institute, we don't have any problem. Okay. See what happened, I'll tell you. Today one thing happened. One student recorded my PCI videos. I have a PCI Express course. He recorded my PCI videos. He started selling people. Okay. I know his company. I said I will send a mail to your HR. Immediately he came down. Then he will compensate me. He'll pay me a compensation. So as long as people don't do such things. See, it impacts me, right? If you do something wrong and impact my business, it impacts me. As long as you don't do that intention, we support, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, I have a question.
Yeah. Please ask.
There is a demo session later today for DFT. Um, I I think it's around 3 o'clock or 3:30, something.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
it will be pretty much midnight for me in my time zone. So how can I get access to the demo session?
Uh,
Because I was planning to take the course which I can do online, like seeing the videos. So, but for demo session, I mean, it will be 3 a.m. my time.
we'll provide you access to the recorded video.
Of demo session also?
Yeah, yeah, every session is recorded. We will share
Oh,
this demo session video also.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, any other questions? One second, someone asked a question. Which domain has more package, DFT or verification? See, just give a minute. I'll go to meeting. Give me 1 minute, please. So the DFT engineer salary is not like a fixed number. It's a range. It's not like a central government job where 5 year experience means you'll get 8 lakhs, 7 years means you'll get 12 lakhs. Not like that.
Yeah. So what I was telling is, uh, a engineer salary is not fixed. Not like 5 years means 20 lakhs. Not like that. It's a range. Person can get anywhere from 15 to 30 lakhs. We'll see that actually in the industry. Someone with 5 years experience in one company is making 15 lakhs. Someone is making 30 lakhs also. Not like that. It's a performance. It's a performance. It's not the college. You can. There are many hundreds of people who perform better than IIT people also. Okay. It's okay. Anyway, let's not get into the college part. This is 5 years DFT person. Even 5 years verification engineer also gets in the same range. Tell me now who gets better salary. Both get similar salaries. Both get similar salaries. The only thing is your expertise is what decides your salary.
Compared to front and back end, who have more package?
That's what I said.
Again, sales.
Similar range. See, a PD engineer salary will be little higher. PD engineer might get even 35 lakhs also. It's relatively higher paid because PD is a very stressful job actually. It involves a lot of sometimes you have to work after office hours. Sometimes people spend midnight, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock they have to work. So in verification you don't have to do that. Verification is a very simple, easy going job. Especially for girls, PD doesn't suit at all. Because they have to work, sometimes their job is such that if one small mistake happens they have to do entire flow again actually. One small mistake happens, some issue came, they have to spend almost 15 hours again throughout, which is not required in verification. Again at one point, whether you get 30 lakhs or 33 lakhs, does it matter? Doesn't matter, right? But 10 or 30 matters.
Which have more competition, sir.
Not like that. See, I told you, right? Domain where more opportunities are there, more competition will be there. Domain where less opportunities are there, less competition will be there. Like DFT has less competition. Yeah. Any other questions? digital IC design and tell me, are they same? No, right? Digital IC design means entire thing. That VLSI design flow itself is called as digital IC design. One part of the flow is functional verification. Those attending online, any questions? Okay. So we will end the session here. So in case you want to enroll for the course, you can enroll today or tomorrow itself, so that you can start with the course on Monday. My suggestion is don't delay it. In case you decided, don't delay it. If you are still in dilemma whether to join or not to join, whether to join somewhere else, then you take time. But if you have decided to join, go ahead and join. Reason is, every day you miss around 4 hours of lecture. It could be theory and lab. That 4 hours gap is a very big problem. Let's say it's like missing initial 15 minutes of a movie. How will it feel? You went to the movie, but initially you missed 10 minutes of movie. You don't feel that continuity, right? Same thing happens in the training hours. You miss first 3-4 days. To catch up the 3-4 days, you will ask your neighbor what happened in first 10 minutes. Same thing here, you will have that difficulty. Or you go for the next show. So you miss 1 week, you join the next batch.
Yes, so sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I came a little late. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I joined
I
a
can
very
hear you.
late.
Please ask.
Yeah, I think I joined about an hour late. Where do I get the notes for this session?
Another 2 hours, 2-3 hours, we'll send you in the WhatsApp group. This recorded video of this session will be shared with everyone in after 2-3 hours.
All right. And who do I speak with? I'm in the US, and who do I speak with about how to organize payment? Is it just using the same details on the website, or is there some other means?
I think we had messaged you, right? We will share the Zelle
Yes.
details to you. So
Yes.
that we'll share with you. You can make the payment to that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
To understand architecture, which type of concepts we need to use?
The basics you have to start. You have to start from the very basics of digital. I mean, his question is what? To understand architecture, what all things I need to do? You have to start from the very basics of digital design. You need to understand what is combination logic, what is sequential logic, how does flip-flop will work, how does comparator work? Because big architecture is what made up of small things, right? First you have to understand the small things, then only you can go for the bigger things. Any other questions? Okay, fine. If you don't have any questions, we'll end the session. Those who want to enroll, just I'm sharing the details. So this is the link where you find the account details. You,
Entire 8 months was start by you or your trainers?
no, I alone don't take entire course. Okay, because if I alone have to take, then I have to run 4-5 batches parallelly, right? Which I cannot do in a day. I handle some part of the training. Then there are other trainers also who run the training. Okay, so they are good, sometimes better than me, because sometimes I'll be running through the topics, they will go very slowly. Okay, so it's not about comparison, it's about every topic will be done in a very detailed manner. Okay, yeah, we'll end the session. Thank you everyone.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please ask.
Yeah, my name is Shwajit Ghosh. Actually, I asked you a question that I have a 1 year of internship experience in Intel in pre-silicon verification.
Yeah,
So I wanted to enroll in functional verification course for experienced engineers.
yeah,
So, like, you suggested me that along with that, I should enroll in Verilog projects.
yes.
So where do I get that in the website? If you could give the link
No,
because I
you
couldn't
can
find
just
it.
that would be a specialized course for you where you
Okay.
can connect with our manager over the WhatsApp. This is our manager's number. Okay, +91. Okay. Where you tell him I want to go for Verilog projects plus DV experience course. Why I am
And
telling this is, yeah,
yeah, yep.
why I am
Tell
telling
me.
this is because see you worked in pre-silicon verification. You wouldn't have
Correct.
really worked at very basic Verilog level. You would have run
Yes.
regressions. You would have analyzed
Yes.
the log files, and you would have filed the some bugs, coverage related things you would have learned. But when it comes to the
Yes.
training, starting from the fundamentals is important. So having said that, I don't want you to start from what is integer, what is real, what is wire, that level, because you would
Yeah.
be already familiar with those things. So I rather
Yes.
want you to start from the advanced Verilog level. That would be Verilog projects level. So
Okay.
even though it will
And for
increase the, yeah, please ask.
this course, DV experience course. So for this course, when does the placement start? If you could tell, like it is a
As soon
six
as you,
months course.
no, you don't need to wait for 6 months. Your placement will start immediately after UVM is completed.
Okay.
So this will go for 1 month. SV and UVM will go for 3 months, at least three. So after 4 months itself, you will get the placements.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, fine. Thank you, everyone. Okay, sorry, one more question. Digital CMOS, we are using SV, right? See, digital CMOS is different, SV is different. Digital CMOS is what? The implementation of the digital design using the CMOS transistors, right? That's what name indicates. There's a CMOS is the complementary MOS. Using that, we are implementing the digital design. It has nothing to do with SV. There are two different aspects. So we will end the session here. Thank you, everyone.